Most consecutive 30-plus point games. He is now lapping the field, 28 and counting, Coach, for Harden, 30-plus.
Well, Smitty made a good point before when we were off the air about suddenly this team that was depleted, didn't have enough guys, and Nene was pulled out of the closet, took mothballs off him to get him to get up and down the floor to have a big body. And Smitty mentioned that all of a sudden, now with what just happened, they're not bad. They're pretty deep all of a sudden.
Fareed, right, has done a nice job.
Stauskas.
Austin Rivers winds up there.
Stauskas, Shumpert. Still waiting, obviously, for CP3 and for Capella. But now when you look at what Harden has done and the growth of the roster, how much more intriguing if they can get their big two back together with Harden, do they become in the playoffs?
You know, James Ennis is back playing the third.
Yes.
And I think they have those guys that are wing guys that can defend. And then you have a guy like an Austin Rivers who can come in, play a point, can score. Then the bigs now, Kenneth Faried and Clint Capella, those are not two bad bigs, and they play the similar. They can roll, set screens, they can slide their feet on pick and rolls. This team has gotten deep really quick.
And it's within reason for them sitting there, even though they're in a spot now where they're a couple of games out of that 3 spot is not that far away, even though they're sitting kind of in 5 and pushing themselves up with Portland and with Oklahoma City. And, Coach, when you think about it, you know, seeding is what it is. If you can get them healthy and get them home court, the question then becomes, is the defense enough? We know what a factor that was that put them in the position they were in, maybe a Paul injury away from getting to the finals, winning a championship. How much does Shumpert and that addition help in that vein?
Well, it seems to me that the 2 pieces they just picked up are 2 spots that they need help in or fit perfectly with what they run and what their philosophy is. Stauskas, 3-point shooter, and then Shumpert, do the dirty work. He'll get on the ground. He'll pick up a charge. He'll get after somebody to take him out of what he wants to run. So the defensive mindset that Shumpert has, all that's good for Houston.
Yeah, it's a loss for the Kings, too, because he really was helping them out. They got a lot of versatile players, Smitty. When you look at what a guy like a Bogdanovic can do, and you think about, you know, what Yogi Ferrell has done, backing up at the point. But Shumpert was helping them and adding some scoring and facilitating a little bit, doing the right things as a player. I mean, not just a guy that was sitting, spotting up, shooting.
And some toughness,
yes,
defending and showing guys how you get it done. And then also, we got a chance to see a more variety of his offense that we didn't get a chance to see in Cleveland. So I think this is a big pickup for the Rockets, also a loss for Sacramento. But I think they're saying, hey, it's time to let some more of these young guys play. Bogdanovic has played so well. I think they're trying to move him in that starting spot and solidify that with him.
Bottom of the West, incredibly interesting right now because Utah's got the easiest schedule the rest of the way. They continue seemingly to push, regardless of what they do, in an upward direction. But you've got the Clippers, who made a deal that was more about next year. Maybe they're not even done yet between now and the deadline, Coach. You've got the Laker team. Doesn't look like they're going to get AD. We don't know what they do or don't. The Kings, now you can work Barnes in, but we'll see how that goes when that move is officially made in terms of seeing him in that offense. Dallas, they've made moves to maybe go the other way a little bit. So it's kind of wide open now in that back end looking for that 8 seed.
Let me ask you, Shumpert, a little bit of a replacement for Ariza. You think back to what they had, what they didn't have, and now they get a chance to put a piece back in that might be able to give them a little bit of that, as you mentioned, toughness.
That toughness. And then you said it best. Nick Stauskas, a guy who can shoot the 3, and a guy who has size shooting the 3.
If I give you guys Lakers as constituted, no moves. Kings, T-Wolves, Mavs, Clippers. Team that stands out to you that you say, you know what, maybe they could be kind of the leader of that pack, which is all tight within a couple of games for that 8 spot.
LeBron, did you say LeBron?
I said LeBron. If Lakers, well, LeBron and the Lakers, if they stay the same.
I'm going LeBron and the Lakers just because what they did. Coach talked about it. We saw it before he was injured. This exact team had home court advantage. I know it was early in the season, but they had built these young guys up to playing good basketball. I got to get an edge to the Lakers.
The Lakers, for sure. LeBron, once everything settles in by trade deadline time tomorrow, that also settles LeBron's mind in as to, all right, here's who I have to now bring him to the finish line, get into the playoffs, see how high we can get positioning-wise.